Coming up,
language is who we are.
As a child, he was punished for speaking in the Cherokee language, yet Durbin Feeling persevered and dedicated his life to saving his mother tongue. Plus, Cherokee softball star Olivia Rains and the sacrifices she made to play professional softball.
This is something I want so bad. I would give up anything for it.
And finally, searching for Bigfoot deep in the hills of the Cherokee Nation.
For the most part, they are shy, they are elusive, and as long as you don't corner one, they usually stay pretty at ease with you.
The Cherokees.
A thriving American Indian tribe.
Our history.
Our culture.
Our people.
Our future.
The principles of a historic nation.
Sewn into the fabric of a modern world.
Hundreds of thousands strong.
Learning. Growing.
Succeeding.
And steadfast.
In the past, we have persevered through struggle.
But the future is ours to write.
Osiyo.
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 These are the voices of the Cherokee people.
I'm Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. On behalf of Cherokee citizens, I'm pleased to present Osiyo, Voices of the Cherokee People, a program dedicated to Cherokee history and heritage. The stories you will see represent Cherokee values, pride, and culture. We hope you enjoy it. Wado.
Osiyo, it's how we say hello in Cherokee. I'm your host, Jennifer Lauren, in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, where the game of softball can be serious business. We'll hear from a professional Cherokee softball player later in the show. But first, Durbin Feeling is the preeminent Cherokee linguist, revered by so many for his lifetime commitment to the Cherokee language, ensuring that it continues to be read, written, and spoken for generations to come.
Zagota CDs, Lata, Excoga, Quogus, UDTS, diesel. Sasi, the Nagalishkin and Ogane, Oganas. Had a little trouble with the school at first because all we knew how to talk was Cherokee. When I got to school, everybody was speaking in English. And so I tried to respond to them. Didn't know what I was responding to because I didn't understand. And so I talked to them in Cherokee. And I get paddlings for that. But it didn't discourage me. It just made me that much more determined to learn both languages fairly well. I speak good Cherokee and English, not yet. Language is who we are, because that's the first thing you hear from your mother's breast is language. That's you. That's who you are. Everything else fits into that. My name is Durbin Feeling. I'm from east of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the place called Little Rock Community. My brother's still living. My sister passed away a few years ago, and both of my parents were gone, but we all spoke Cherokee. And I think we all wrote the language too. Yeah, in my community, or all the communities that up in northeastern Oklahoma, everybody pretty much spoke the language.
And tell me what we're looking at here.
This letter, I have a number of them. Well, this one is for me from Vietnam to my mother. I went to Vietnam in 1968. Close to Saigon is where I was. The place called Bien Hoa. When I first got there, I would write to my mother in English, and she would write to me in Cherokee, and I already knew how to read it. So I thought, well, if she writes to me in Cherokee and I can read it, I ought to be able to write to her.
So this is how you learned how to write in Cherokee?
Yeah. It says, Osiyo, AG. Hello, mother. Kohi udoro kuidente gesa, go lagnesa, that's the nanai. I took some things to read, songbook, scriptures. My mother would write to me. That's when I began to notice the differences from a long time ago to the way we spoke today. And that's what got me going.
And I think it is also very appropriate to recognize Durbin this morning and congratulate him again on his Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to the language.
I started working in the language and I came back from Vietnam, which is about 68, 70. That's been almost my total life's work. And when you put all the years I worked for Cherokee Nation, it's like 45 years. It's going to when you win that, what no, because you squala no, the Canada. It's going to win this, got no stig.
Durbin took some language warriors and he built that flame in our hearts. About everything that we've built, we built on giants like Durbin's shoulders, you know, and he's taught us some values too. He's a servant, you know, so that's just who he is.
I used to think I want Cherokee language to become like the Renaissance. Everybody speaking Cherokee. Can't say that anymore. I hate it. I don't like it. There was a time when I would say, Cherokee is not going to go away. Today, within one generation, it could be gone.
Behind me, you see a sign that says the Durbin Feeling Language Center. Yesterday, the Council of the Cherokee Nation unanimously passed legislation that I work with them on. That was the Durbin Feeling Language Preservation Act, after a great man and a great friend, Durbin Feeling.
Because I like my language, and it's a beautiful language.
Do you think it can be saved?
It can be, but there's a lot of work behind it. Dedication. Yeah. Osiyo ska uyohu histinegesan ka nigidaskene uwatati.
When it comes to the game of softball, no one takes it more seriously than Cherokee Nation citizen Olivia Rains. She gave up the glory days of high school to move to California to pursue her softball dreams.
My name is Olivia Rains. I will be attending the University of Oklahoma in the fall. I am a pitcher for the OC Batbusters here in Anaheim, California, and I am 19 years old. I started softball when I was around 8 years old, and I fell in love with it ever since. I started out at first base, and then when my dad started coaching me around 10 years old, he moved me to the outfield because I was the tall, lanky, awkward kid who was pretty fast. I tried pitching around 12 years old and I was awful, absolutely terrible. One day a coach gave me the opportunity and I took it and ran. One of our pitchers actually got hurt during a tournament and they said, who else can pitch? And me, I was the goofy kid, and I'm like, oh, I used to, like, I can do this. And I went out there and I didn't do too bad. After that, I kind of realized, I'm like, I really like this. I enjoy this. This is what I want to do. Kevin O'Donnell from the New Jersey Intensity, he approached my dad and said, we have an open spot if she wants to throw for our New Jersey team. We were like, what? It's in New Jersey, like we live in Oklahoma, what are you talking about? To me, that's when it really hit home. It's fun, but it's a job now.
Moving over to the Batbusters was a deeper commitment from everyone, not just from us, but from her.
Coach Mike called me and said that he'd love to have me out in California for a tryout weekend. It was one of those things that when you get a call from Coach Stith, you're like, oh my gosh, what? Like, he's calling me.
Olivia's family knew that we had a very unique situation here. We're going to bring out the tough people. We're going to find the hardness of these people. And she was willing to take that challenge. And I commend her a lot. There's a lot of things that she has given up to do this at the level that she has.
Okay. I had to call my mom.
Hello?
Hey, Mom. I decided to go to California the June before I started school, my senior year. Moving to California was going to allow me to be able to truly focus on softball and achieve the dream of mine of being able to be on the field as a freshman at my dream school. So I definitely feel like I gave up kind of the end of high school experience, winding down to graduation, being able to kind of like laugh and see people in the hallway. Those are things that I kind of took for granted. That's definitely something that I didn't realize I would miss. But I kind of looked at it as I had to do what was best for my future and what was gonna get me where I wanted to be, which is ultimately at the College World Series. That's where I wanna be, that's what I wanna do. And if losing that last semester of high school meant that I could be, at that point, I could be in the World Series by that June, I didn't care. It's just something I want so bad. I would give up anything for it. I work from 7 to 3 just to help with daily living expenses. On Mondays, I go to my pitching coach. Tuesdays, I work out here at STC, and I pitch at 8 o'clock at night. Wednesdays, I work out and I pitch again. Thursdays, I work out and pitch again. And Fridays, if our tournament's not starting, I'll just work out, and then we play Saturday and Sunday, and we start all over again. I joke around because I say I quit 3 times a day. So I quit everything about 3 times a day. But no, I definitely love it. I don't quit. I just, you just say you do. One of my main goals was building on every opportunity that I get, being better than I was the previous time. That's one of my main goals, and that's what motivates me.
1919 Tulsa World Softball Player of the Year, Olivia Rains from Pryor High School. Congratulations, Olivia.
One thing that I hope people take away would be my determination and my work ethic, and just the fact that you can always be better than you were the last time, that you can achieve anything if you set your mind to it.
Here's a picture of my people at their play, their dreaming. We are few and we cling in love to each other. We are like you when springtime comes with dogwood blossoms.
It's been said that Dr. Jack Kilpatrick was absolutely delighted by learning and sharing cultural knowledge about his tribe. Together with his wife, Anna Gritz, Dr. Kilpatrick wrote several books exploring Cherokee traditions, folklore, and even magic. But now, more than 40 years after his death, it's Kilpatrick's musical compositions that are being reborn and revered after a discovery in an attic at the University of Oklahoma.
Everything in the storeroom was covered in dust. It was covered in dust. We pulled the first box we pulled off the shelf and started looking through. We could tell pretty quickly he was a professional composer. It wasn't someone's hobby.
When you hear that there's a box of music in an attic at school, you think of, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, it must not be important. And so I remember when Matt opened the lid of the first box, it was, and the name, I recognized the name, and I wasn't 100% sure into what detail, how much he composed and how prolific he was in his lifetime, that it was instantly, I don't know, for a researcher, it was like a spark of excitement.
31 boxes of music and notes composed by the late Dr. Jack Kilpatrick, lost for decades, now found.
I could hear the music on the page, but I could also hear the quotes that he was using from traditional Cherokee music as well. And so some of his pieces will delve into rhythmic patterns that you would hear in stomp dance patterns, or a flute solo melody he would include with some kind of harmony.
Jack Kilpatrick was born in the Cherokee community of Stillwell, Oklahoma in 1915. With a bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in music, Jack and Anna settled in Dallas, Texas, where he was the head of the music department at Southern Methodist University. Over the years, Kilpatrick is said to have composed more than 500 pieces of music, 200 of them major works, including symphonies, concertos, choral, and chamber music, and they were performed by some of the most renowned orchestras in the world. He also wrote the music for several historical dramas, including the Cherokee drama Unto These Hills, which is still being performed today in Cherokee, North Carolina.
400,000 people saw in the first Southwest American Exposition a preview of things to come.
In 1957, he wrote a popular piece of music for Oklahoma's semi-centennial celebration. And by 1958, Dr. Jack Kilpatrick was being called the greatest American Indian musician of all time.
My name is Alexander Micklethwaite. I'm the music director of the Oklahoma City Philharmonic.
Alexander Micklethwaite has been playing classical music since he was 4 years old.
I love other parts of music, but the moment I hear a classical piece, it's like, oh, it's so nice. So, yeah, it's definitely part of my soul.
And when he heard about Jack Kilpatrick's found compositions, he knew he wanted to share the discovery with the world.
He literally jumped out of his seat. He was like, wait, you found music that's been in your attic since 1977, and it's probably the first professional Native American composer who's from Oklahoma. He was like, yes, we need this on our opening concert.
So I went down to OU and realized all the 35 boxes had like fantastic music and of somebody who connected the Western tradition with American Indian, with Cherokee tradition. And it's still just like we're scratching the surface only, but it's really that idea of finding our Beethovens, like the people in the country, in America, that took the culture of the country and, elevated it and made it to something different, something new. And Jack Kilpatrick was really that kind of person.
And so, on September 13th, 2019, the Oklahoma City Philharmonic, under the direction of Alexander Micklethwaite, performed American Indian Serenade by Cherokee Nation citizen Dr. Jack Kilpatrick.
Jalagi Idiwanihi. Let's talk Cherokee. Sio juicy dawadon.
Sio juicy dawadon.
You'll come back. Ije dolai.
Ije dolai.
You'll come back. Ije dolai.
Ije dolai.
Deep in the heart of the Cherokee Nation, locals have spotted a mysterious creature. We tagged along as they tracked and collected evidence of the beast many know as Bigfoot.
There is a vast area, natural forest that people have never seen before. And our elders have told us that there were beings that lived in the woods. Today we hear the word Bigfoot or Sasquatch, but in our Cherokee history, in our culture, we call them Uni-Udawihi, the mythical or the secluded tribe. Now, from the cultural aspect of it, these creatures were put here by our creator, Unetlana, and these beings were put here to help us. In our villages in ancient times, we had boundaries where we hunted and gathered, and we would present berries and edible roots at the edge of our boundaries as an offering to these creatures. And in return, these creatures would help us and protect us during our times of hunting and gathering. These beings existed a long time ago, and they do exist today. They're just not talked about as much, and some people get glimpses of them every now and then. Is it going to be proven or is it not going to be proven? Well, curiosity drives human nature, and if you're always looking for something, you're going to find it.
My entire life, I've been in the woods probably 4,000 times. And out of all those times, I've had 27 encounters with what I would truthfully say was a Bigfoot. It's become a part of our culture that these creatures coexist with us. I have other members of the Cherokee Nation come up to me and say, hey, I've seen one. My name is Darren Lee. I go by D.W. Lee. I'm the Executive Director for Mid-America Bigfoot Research Center. The goal of the MABRC is to actually accumulate as much information and evidence as we can, so when it is proved to science, I can say, okay, here's what I got. You either take it and use it, throw it away, whatever you want. But I've done my part. We believe Bigfoot is a large primate. They're all hairy, got a big foot, more of an ape-like features to its face. It has above average intelligence. The ones in this area are about 7 to 8 feet tall. For the most part, they are shy, they are elusive, and as long as you don't corner one, they usually stay pretty at ease with you. This area here, we've had a lot of encounters and sightings and stuff like that down through here. You can see some high-line power poles down there, and we speculate that the Bigfoot use a power line right-of-way as a navigation tool. It's just a lot of uncharted wilderness out there, probably places out there that man has never stepped foot in. Once we get out there on site, we put our recorders out. What we do is we have these little audio recorders, and we have these what we call drop boxes. And they're tubes that has bark glued on the outside of them. And we have a stick that we can hang it about 20 feet up in the air. We use thermal cameras that are portable that we can take everywhere with us. We also use parabolic listening devices, which are big bowls with a microphone in the middle. And these take the sounds and focuses them on that microphone. A lot of times when we go out on expeditions, we'll have members do a vocalization. We speculate that Bigfoot makes these whooping sounds. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a Bigfoot to respond to these whoops. We look for tree structures. Tree structures are items that's been constructed out in the woods that shouldn't really be there. We also look for footprints.
Looks like we got something here. It's not very big, about maybe 7 inches, 6 inches, not much bigger than that, but there's a toe, a toe, 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 and a toe.
If anything, it's probably maybe a 1-year-old at the most.
At the
Even
most,
that,
maybe.
yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and cast this one. That's a pretty good little impression for this part of the state. This is an impression of a possible Bigfoot track. The typical size that people find for these things in Oklahoma is generally between 16 to 20 inches for the adults. Stuff smaller than that would be juveniles. When you see a toe that's splayed out like that, that means that whatever left the footprint has never worn shoes.
The MABRC does not make a definitive claim that anything is Bigfoot. We're very scientifically minded. You gotta let the research show you what's out there. A lot of times I'll take a photo, and what I'm doing is I'm zooming in on it. I'm changing the pixelization on it. I'm changing from color to black and white to see if there's anything that pops out at me. Some of the most compelling evidence that the MABRC has collected. We do have a lot of thermal footage. We have several videos of a Bigfoot in the same location 2 weeks apart, filmed by 2 different researchers for audio recordings. We actually had a recording of what we believe could possibly be a Bigfoot. That was our researcher doing that call. That was the return response. The thing about humans, we think we know a lot, but as far as our planet goes, we probably only know maybe 5% of what's actually on our planet. We discover new species every day. So for us to find more information about our planet and what exists with us, I think that is really key for our survival in the end run, whether it's considered paranormal or normal. We need to find this stuff out.
We hope you enjoyed our show. And remember, you can always watch entire episodes and share your favorite stories online at Osio.tv. There is no Cherokee word for goodbye because we know we'll see you again. We say, Dodadago Ha'i. Wado.